Yeah, you better be breathing. Some days are easier working with your spouse than others. I want to show you guys because I'm pretty pumped. We got Sir William. We are done. I always hate when I come into the barn and I see this. Yeah, you better be breathing. Boys. Happy Wednesday. I am standing in front of the pen that we finished hoof trimming yesterday. Everyone looks good, and it feels good to be done that pen. However, time for pen number 2. I did not vlog this morning. We had some personality issues between Hubs and myself. I had a little issue with the feed bunk, and it tipped over. Don't ask me how or why, it just did. He still hasn't said too much to me for the rest of the day. Some days are easier working with your spouse than others. Yeah. So, not exactly ideal, but that's as far as we could get it with what we had. I'm gonna try and get about 20 of these ewe lambs done or so. The problem, I can't do the whole pen today because the other thing I still have to do this afternoon is sort all the breeding groups. So the boys come out today. It is the big breakup, the big divorce. The problem is today I've seen actually some boys jumping, so. Update on the barn roof. We had the guys come in this morning just to drop off some stuff, and construction's gonna start tomorrow. So they're gonna try to stretch my roof, my tarp. That blew off in December, if you remember. And they're gonna, I think, get my chimney boxes put up, which reminds me I have to get those chimneys from our shed down the road. So yeah, so that's happening tomorrow. So I do have to get some of these jobs done, because they're gonna be right in my way tomorrow. So I'm not gonna be able to hoof trim, I'm not gonna be able to sort, I'm not gonna be able to do anything. So I do need to get these jobs done today, or at least get a good start on it. Okay, finished hoof trimming that group of ewes, and the funny thing is, those hooves were really good. And those ewes have never been done, so they're about 14 months old now. Yeah, May, yeah, they were born last March. I've only been like, not even 2 hours, and I did 28 ewes in the same time it took me. No, it took way longer just to do like 22 ewes yesterday and the day before. It makes me feel a little bit better about my management skills, because yesterday I was feeling pretty bad about those older girls. So I don't know. It might be just because they're younger and their hooves are still quite soft. I don't really know. So that was a delight. It was except for the fact that they're ewe lambs and they're a little flighty. Except for that, they were so much nicer to do. The hoof trim, I was literally boom, 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 done. It was so much nicer. I'm not near as sore or frustrated. A little frustrated just at the actual ewes, but definitely not their hooves and not at me. So that was a nice, I wanted to come here and tell you guys that those hooves were so much better, just so you don't lose complete faith in me. All right, now we get to the exciting part. I'm gonna take the rams out of the ewe pens, and the rams will all go back in their original pen up here close, and the ewes all go in their own pen. Now, the good thing is I got all this hoof trimming stuff set up. So I am going to, once that last group of ewe lambs is done, I'm actually going to run those rams through and get those done while I've got them here. I honestly probably should run the ewes through too. If I get a chance next week, this might be the time I run them through because they're done breeding. It might be just a good window to get caught up on some of these hooves. We are done. Good morning, it's Friday. Yesterday I did not vlog at all. I actually left my camera. What are you doing? Every time I start talking, she yawns. It's like I'm boring her, which maybe I'm boring you guys. No, yesterday I decided my camera actually just stayed in the barn. Carissa came and did chores. And I had a meeting in the morning, but in the afternoon I went and picked up something that I ordered a couple months ago and kind of forgot about it. And I want to show you guys because I'm pretty pumped. I haven't used it yet. Today will be the maiden voyage. So let's go see what I'm talking about. Also yesterday when I was away, oh, the birds are insane. I don't know if they're nesting right now. I'm sorry if it's driving you guys crazy because it's driving me crazy too. The guys came yesterday and started my roof, so they stretched it and it looks like they've got the brackets up to start putting in the chimneys. Now it rained last night and today, so they didn't put the holes in yet. I think they're waiting till next week, maybe Tuesday, to do that, so I'll show you what they did so far. So there you go. They put on all the brackets that they had to take down. Now I see they don't have one right there, so I'm wondering if one was damaged. And that is the one that where the hole started, so maybe it got lifted or something, I don't know. So anyway, we're getting closer. Isn't she lovely? This is my new friend. So it is a hay chopper. It's so old. Like, I know all the older dairy farmers are probably going, dude, I had that like 20 years ago. However, I am very excited. So what I'm gonna do, I've been taking off slices of the big bales, dry hay. I need the dry hay because we're short feed right now, so I've been taking off pieces, putting it in the loader bucket, and then putting it in the TMR. However, this stuff is just really coarse and longer stranded, so I'd like to just chop it a little finer. And I'm hoping that'll go through the feed cart a little better. Right now it's just rolling in the feed cart, and it's actually getting caught in my auger, and that's why we had some bearing issues a couple weeks ago. So, I spent some money yesterday and bought this. It's been on the to-do list to get this for a long time, so we will try it out today and see how it works. It's pretty much the same as my feed cart. I just have to, where's the stuff here? Turn on the gas line, the choke, the throttle, turn it on and pull the cord. So very much like my feed cart, just looks like it's just a Honda motor, so everything should be pretty similar. And then I think to turn on the knives, I think this turns on the knives. So we'll just experiment and see what we come up with. was a pull. I don't know, it sounds like it's flooding, so I don't know. I had to start it a few times with the choke. I'm letting it warm up, and then we'll give it a go. Works. I think that's a lot nicer. It takes a long time, so I think what I'm going to do is pre-mix a whole bunch for her, and we'll just scoop it in for how long it takes. Oh, that's way better. You ever wondered how much dry hay is in a big dry hay bale? Check this out. That much. And it took a long time. But this should do a couple days for Carissa, so that'll get her through the weekend, and then I'll do it again Monday morning, and that should get me through till Wednesday. So now I just have to take the loader and just make a big mound for her. But yeah, it's really nice, actually. We got the pile all built up. So this is how much hay is in one of those big hay bales. Those hay bales are, I believe, 3 by 4 by 7 or 3 by 4 by 8. I think it's 3 by 4 by 7. So yeah, quite a bit of hay. Okay, I am kind of cleaned up. Not so much my hair, but doesn't matter. I have to set up my hoof trimmer again, and I think before I finish those last 20 to 30 ewes that I have to hoof trim, those ewe lambs, I really want to do these rams. Yeah, they need to come through. I am a little bit concerned that the good thing is they're not crazy woolly, but they are big, and that hoof trimmer is only so big. So, hello. Look who we got. We got Sir William, Prince William. So I will show you the before and the after. Hello. Hi. So, not great. They're a little long, so I'll take off about to there. And then, of course, take the sides off. So yeah, they're a little bit long, but we will fix that. Okay. Okay, they're all done. So they look really good. Nice length. So they look good. Oh boy. Well, the boys are done. That was... okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Where the struggle is sometimes with these boys, these Suffolks are huge. So I have a hard time... You guys know. I have a hard time fitting them in here. And so the one, I actually opened the back door and the front door so it would think it was going right through. And of course it got through because I couldn't shut it in time. So that was frustrating. I had an Ile-de-France that thought it was too fat to get into it. So that required Mark coming in and opening the back gate. And me opening the front gate and pushing the Ile-de-France in, which, by the way, he got in no problem, so it was all in his head. But other than that, I thought, looking at the feet, just looking at them walking, and I thought they were a lot worse, but once I got them upside down, they weren't that bad, and they were easy to cut. So there's a few just observations that I'm going to make depending on breed, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. But what I saw today, because I have the 4 different breeds, the steel rams were pretty good, very soft and easy to reshape. These Suffolks were very, very hard, so they were the hardest to cut, but I barely had to do anything. They were like almost 100%. I just had to trim off a little. So that's why the one that got away on me, his 2 front feet looked perfect. The back feet, so maybe when I get them sheared, if I can get Charlie just to hold them down, I'll maybe trim his hooves then. And then the Rideaus were somewhere in between. So they were probably the longest, but the easiest to trim. So a little bit of everything. Did I say Ile-de-France? Ile-de-France were by far the worst. The hardest. They are white, but they are like cutting wood. But they've been worse. So I think I've been able to keep up with these particular rams, and they weren't as bad as I've seen them before. So that's kind of a relief. So now I'm just going to put them all away and shut the door, and that's it, because it's Friday and it's like 5:30. This took way longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to have to work this weekend to finish that last group of ewes, but I will not put you through one more day of hoof trimming. I might just come back and let you know how everything went, and maybe a plan on the ones I just bred. I might move those up the system a little bit and just hoof trim them before they get scanned. But we'll see how that shakes out next week.